So the other day, I'm just scrolling through YouTube, watching videos, and then something catches my eye. Why everyone hates bike riders. I'm a bike rider, so naturally I was curious, and I clicked on the video, gave it a watch, and man, I did not realize what I was getting myself into. I feel like this video was rushed and not well thought out at all, and I'm gonna go over exactly why I feel that way.
We're going to go over why skaters hate bikers. One of the biggest reasons skaters don't like bikers is because bikes tend to break ramps much faster than skateboards. Bikes have pegs, handlebars, and pedals that stick out, making it easy to damage pretty much whatever they come in contact with.
So modern BMX bikes do still have pegs, pedals, and handlebars, but we have plastic sleeved pegs, plastic pedals, and plastic bar ends. You can actually see it right there on your own video.
With skateboards, the wheels and deck prevent the trucks from chipping the concrete, and whenever trucks do grind, they're far less likely to leave a dent in the rail or coping since they're so much lighter.
Average BMX bike weighs about 25 pounds. Average skateboard is, I want to say, about 5 or so. This argument is so stupid though, because if someone weighs 150 pounds and they get on their bike, that's a total of 175 pounds. If you take that same man, put him on a skateboard, his total weight is about 155 pounds. That's only like an 11% difference. Do you actually think that that extra 20 pounds is going to be the difference between denting and not denting the coping? If you actually think that, I'm going to tell you you're wrong, and if you didn't know that, now you do.
Also, the metal on skateboard trucks is always made of soft aluminum, but when it comes to bikes, they can be made of a variety of different metals that are much stronger.
Skateboard trucks made out of aluminum. Gotcha. You know what is softer than aluminum? Plastic. That is what the average peg is made of nowadays. We have plastic sleeves that do less damage than your trucks. And I'm not going to deny the use of metal pegs. They're still out there. There's a lot less people nowadays running metal though. The other three types of pegs are chromoly, aluminum, and titanium, with titanium definitely being super rare. You know what coping is made out of? Steel. The coping's fine.
While skateboards can leave marks on obstacles, bikes can easily dent handrails, flat bars, and coping, and when bikes keep hitting a ramp, it causes concrete and wood to chip in ways that wouldn't be caused by a skateboard.
Most of the time, the parts that hit the ground are rubber or plastic. And I'm not gonna say bikes don't cause more damage than skateboards. If a peg hits the concrete, that little bit of metal that does stick out could make a small chip.
Since bikes maneuver in a different way than skateboards, it can be hard to judge which direction they're going. This is something that's kind of hard to avoid.
Shout out to JR being featured in this video. I know he didn't like that.
No matter what you do, the flow of BMX riders is always going to be different than skateboards simply because of how they're designed. And inevitably, it's going to lead to some conflict.
Learn the flow of your skate park. It's not the biker's fault that you decide not to learn his line. If I go to somewhere new and I've never seen someone skate before, I'm gonna take the time to learn where they skate so I don't get in the way. I think everyone should do that to avoid injury and cause as little accidents as possible. It's really easy to do that. You just sit and watch. And this idea that bikers and skaters just have different flow is really weird too. It's like saying bikers only do this kind of thing and skaters only do this kind of thing. I've been to plenty of skate parks where skaters all skate super differently. I don't know why you would bring this up. If everyone just learns how other people ride and skate, there's not going to be any issues.
Reason number 3 why skaters hate bikes is because a lot of bike riders have bad skate park etiquette. Now, generally speaking, experienced BMXers aren't the problem here.
So you said it yourself. An experienced rider knows what they're doing and they're not in the way. Their skate park etiquette is fine. That can be said for skateboarders too. There's been so many times where I've been to a skate park and you can tell the skaters there are new. For sure, their etiquette is way worse. That's the problem. People that have inexperience. But it's really easy to avoid issues though if you just talk to them and teach them.
It's typically the little kids on bikes, or sometimes even the random pedestrians that decide to take their old Walmart bike on a spin around the park.
Your issue is with the little kids. You have two options here. You can either talk to the kids and try to teach them, protecting you and yourself, or if you feel weird about that, tell the parents. Communicate that the skate park is a dangerous environment for everyone and that everyone should learn how to use it.
Could skaters simply explain to kids the proper behavior at a skate park? Yeah, they probably could. But even then, sometimes kids don't listen, and that's assuming the local skaters there had enough conflict resolution skills to take a mature approach like that in the first place.
So what you're saying is, a lot of skaters have poor problem-solving skills and don't know how to communicate their issues with other individuals, so they just get mad. That's a reason to hate bikers?
Reason number 4 why skaters hate bikers is because bikes are much more dangerous. Bikes are heavier, bigger, and faster than skateboards, making things a lot worse if a collision ever does happen.
This is easily avoided avoidable. Take turns. Don't skate towards someone if they're already in the bowl. I've been snaked plenty of times just because people decide to come in my direction even though they've seen me riding the same obstacle in the same direction numerous times prior.
It doesn't have to be a normal collision either. Sometimes people can get hit with bikes just by being too close whenever the biker kicks out. Since the bike has rubber tires, the force of a 40-pound metal frame makes it bounce off the ground in random directions, meaning it's easy for someone just passing by to get hit.
Like I said earlier, the average total weight of a modern bike is around 25 pounds or so. And it's pretty rare that a bike bounces on its tires like that and goes flying everywhere. And the idea that it's only dangerous if a person bails on their bike, it just doesn't make sense to me, because how many times during a session does a skater bail from their board and their board just goes flying across the skate park? I'm willing to say that happens a lot more than a bike rolling away. If someone doesn't land their trick and the board lands wheels down, it's gonna keep rolling in whatever direction. I remember one time I was going pretty fast towards a quarter pipe just to fly out of it, I think. And all of a sudden, someone on the side didn't land their trick on their board and it comes rolling right under my bike. I flip forward and I end up shoulder checking the quarter pipe. It sucked. Also, if you see someone trying a trick in a certain spot and they're obviously bailing or they're still learning how to do it, move from that spot so you don't get hit. You're in the danger zone. This applies to bikes and boards.
The fifth reason skaters don't like bikers is because bikers don't help the scene. When it comes to getting skate parks built, building street spots, or hosting events, all of the work is almost always done by skateboarders.
What are you talking about? What are these events that you're mentioning? As far as I know, skaters usually make events for skaters and bikers usually make events for bikers.
Then, when the park finally does open or the street spot is finally built, bikers who weren't involved at all have no problem showing up and taking advantage.
100%. There are spots that are modded and or made by bikes, and then skaters come and skate them and blow up the spot. An example, Trevilocks, that's his Instagram, he does a lot of DIY stuff. I saw a post by him that said after he put the spot online, a bunch of skaters came, and did they help with anything? Probably not.
In a way, it's kind of similar to how bikers feel about dirt bike riders riding on their dirt jumps. In the BMX community, groups of bikers will spend weeks or months building out dirt jumps just for dirt bike riders who weren't involved at all to show up and ride and mess up their ramps in the process. Of course, this isn't exactly the same thing as BMXers riding skate parks, but it is somewhat similar.
It's really not similar, dude. BMX trails and dirt jumps are hand-built by the riders, unlike 99% of parks. When a dirt bike, or more recently, Surons have been really popular, when those guys ride the lips, they actually ruin the dirt because of their throttles and knobby tires. And from what I've seen, a lot of these dudes, they don't dig, they don't help, they don't clean up their mess. That's why a lot of trail builders are unhappy. Like, completely different. How many skate parks were hand-built by the local skaters? I'm gonna say a very, very small percent. Most skaters that have a local park probably just happen to live there, and they were blessed with whatever park they have to skate for free. Most of the time it's made by a construction company or a skate park building company like Evergreen.
The sixth reason skaters don't like bikes is because they don't like the tricks.
This is really your argument?
Some skaters even hate specific skateboarding tricks, so hating BMX tricks is almost natural to them. When skateboarders like this see bikers doing weird tricks, or tricks they think look weird, a lot of them simply add it to their list of reasons not to like bikers.
This reason is just crazy to me. Just because you don't like the way my trick looks, you don't like me? I don't know if this dude is just projecting or if a lot of people are actually like this, but who cares? I don't understand a lot of skateboarding, but I can still appreciate it and think it's cool and see the effort that someone is putting into their craft. And if I don't appreciate it, it doesn't matter. They're doing their thing and I'm doing mine. So like, what is the issue?
Seventh reason skaters don't like bikers is because of a bad personal experience that they may have had. There could have been one time in the late 90s when a biker ran into someone, and ever since then, that skater just decided that he didn't like bikes.
These people just have poor communication skills. Let's move on.
So another reason skaters don't like bikes is because they think the tricks are easier. For people learning how to skate, it often takes months or even years to learn how to ollie or kickflip. For people learning how to BMX, it's not uncommon to learn how to bunny hop and bar spin in a matter of weeks.
That bar spin that you showed is a very simple version, and the average person is not going to consider that a real bar spin. I want to see you learn it fly out or bunny hop. If people really think these tricks are super easy, I want to see them do them. But here's a hint, it's not that easy, and you're just talking out of your ass.
Compared to skateboarding, some skaters see the fundamental tricks on bikes as easier than skateboards, so they simply don't respect it as much.
That's just such a bad reason to not like bike riders. Just because the fundamentals of something are easy doesn't mean the whole thing is easy. Learning how to bunny hop is not the same thing as learning how to 720. Same way that learning how to ollie is not the same thing as I don't really know skateboard tricks. Learning how to tray flip. I hope that was a good example. Probably wasn't though. Kind of sound like this guy.
Reason skaters hate bikers is because they don't understand how similar the culture is. If some of the gatekeeper skaters realized this, they'd probably be more open to bikes in general.
I don't know, that doesn't really sound like a biker problem to me. It sounds like people that are really closed-minded, hating on things they don't understand. You know how sick it'd be if we all could just share the skate park? That's what it's like at my park. We all kind of just get along. It doesn't matter if you're a bike, a scooter, or a board, or whatever you're doing. We can think farther than just this person has a bike, me no likey.
The next reason skaters hate bikes is because skaters just hate everything.
We're at the point of the video where it's literally not even the bike's fault at all.
Although there are some skaters out there who still dislike bikes, these days, the overwhelming majority of skaters don't really mind them. In the past, the whole skater versus biker debate used to be a lot stronger, but as time has gone on, it seems like skaters have moved past it.
Seems like what it comes down to is there's just a lot of miscommunication, a lot of blind hatred for no good reasons. It really just comes down to disliking people that are inexperienced. And even then, just teach people. Teach people how to not snake each other, learn to appreciate what the other person is doing, or just mind your own business. Not liking someone because of how they act as a person is something, but not liking someone just because they ride a bicycle is extremely childish. I think we can agree on that. I think everyone should just make an attempt to be better at communicating. That would solve a lot of problems. There'd be a lot less beef between the two things. I'm pretty lucky to be in an area where everyone kind of just gets along. Sometimes when I go to certain skate parks though, it feels like people don't even treat me like a person and judge me before they say a single word to me. But again, I feel like we can agree that's pretty whack. Don't judge a book by its cover. This whole biker versus skater thing, it should be completely dead by now. It's 2023. Yeah, that's enough about that. If you liked the video, give the video a like. If you didn't like the video, give the video a like. Comment below, letting me know what you think and what you want to see. New videos every week. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you guys soon. Bye. And I'm gonna show you guys why I feel that way. And I'm gonna talk about exactly why I feel that way. And I'm gonna go over exactly why I feel that way.